y'all. Happy hump day. We are back. Coastal Critiques panel is back with this week's recap review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is still season 14, episode 11. Makeups, slip-ups,
15.
and... Oh, season 15. Whatever, y'all know what I mean. Slip-ups and cover-ups. So we got to come up here and talk about it because this was an interesting episode. Very interesting episode. And we are here, as always, my lovely sis, California cutie, BarbMeetsWorld, your favorite people.
You know, some of your faves. You know how we do. We try to, share the sweetness of the people. How you doing today, my sister?
I'm good. Just feel like I've been running a mile a minute, but all is well. How about you?
I wonder why. Have you been putting out so much content? Hello. What you been doing, girl?
It's been tiring, but I will do anything for you all because that's why I came on this platform in the first place, to give you guys consistent content, right? So yeah, that's pretty much been consuming my time. What about you?
I just had grandbaby's birthdays yesterday, so that's why we didn't come to you guys yesterday. We usually are on Tuesdays around this time, so don't get used to seeing us on a Wednesday. We usually do Tuesdays. It's the granddaughter's birthday yesterday, so we celebrated. One is in Georgia, so I had to celebrate her from afar, but we ended up going to Hurricane Harbor and have a great time. Had to beat the heat a little bit. So yeah, that's about it. I'm still indecisive on my content. So I just, like being on panels. And luckily for me, I have two, not one, but two exciting things going on, which is our panel is coming back for Messy Night Court on Nola Reed. We'll be back, you guys, August. The first week of August, which is next week, we are going back to Messy Night Court with the Honorable Judge Nola Reeds. And so we'll be back on Thursdays. And so that's some content that will be
courtship. Your courtship is great.
You know how the courtship do it. And I ain't trying to get on her bad side at all. And so we have that coming up. And then the other thing I would like to share with you guys is that my first ever podcast with two of my good friends. They're cousins, but I have another podcast. Now this started before the pandemic. This was like 2018. So it's Sunday Brunch with Black Tea. You guys need to go follow that. I know Barb's like, wait, what? Wait a minute. But yes, Sunday Brunch with Black Tea. It is a plethora of things that we discuss, but mainly what we were doing was bringing small black businesses and bringing them to our platform and interviewing and trying to get them out there and just picking their brain about their businesses, how they got them started and everything. My two girls are both in management and they've been in big businesses and small businesses, so that's what they wanted. That's what we were talking about, in businesses and stuff like that. And at that time, I was still managing at Hallmark, assistant managing. So I still was, in it, but it wasn't my platform. It was my girlfriend's platform. It was fun. It was exciting. Plus we have a lot of things that y'all see. I don't want to take up my time with all of it, but it was a plethora of things going on, but all positive. So you guys can go look at Sunday Brunch with Black Tea, and we're coming back. And we're adding a new little something to it. So the thing about the reason why it's called Sunday Brunch with Black Tea is because we would have brunch. Like my girl wears a lot of hats. She make us brunch, and then she would share the recipes with you guys. Y'all would see it and be like, oh my gosh, I want to try that. We would show you what kind of wine or whatever we pair it up with.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was bomb. You guys really should check it out. Sunday Brunch with Black Tea. And then she also makes different things, mugs, anything and everything.
We love that.
So we promoted things that she made on the show as well. So like I said, we're coming back and we're adding some flavor to it. So I'll wait till I get back on that platform to announce that. but I will be bringing it up and talking about it a lot. So y'all just prepare because it's going down. So yeah, I got a lot of things going on, little sister. I got some things going on.
Same deal. You know, we're trying to always be incorporating new types of content. We're not just trying to, you know, just have it be reality shows and stuff like that. There's a lot more that we would like to talk about on our platform. So please, you know, subscribe, stick around, and be on the lookout for new types of content coming very, very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, because that's what we are, not trying to be one-dimensional. So let's say hello to the people. And please, if y'all have not, subscribe to both our channels. Share the content if you're enjoying it. Like my cousin Renton say, if you're not enjoying it, somebody might enjoy it that you know. It might not be your cup of tea, but it might be somebody you know's cup of tea. Send it on, share that thing, because we know sharing is caring. So we gonna do like my cousin say, you know, just share it. And then give us a comment down below if y'all on Playback Game. Give us a comment, and if y'all are in our live studio as our sis House of the Princesses, you can drop us a comment right now. We might put it up here. So let's say hello to people. Hey, House of Princess. You guys don't know her, y'all should, and please go follow her. Hello, Miss Janet. You know, we love you around these parts, girl. And she always says hello to the both of us, not together, but separately. We love that. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you always. Hello, my cousin. Just talking about you. We always have to.
It's game night tonight over there as well. So
it is game night. So y'all might have to split your time up. Whatever you need to do, however you need to do. We don't. You know, we'd like to share the wealth, right? So yeah, game night. She always have fun. We always have fun on our cousin Ranton and Ricardo's channel. It's always a good time. So let's go over there, check her out, follow her, give her a little subscribe and all that good stuff. And then I'd love to say hello to my girl Q. What is doing? Another California cutie. Don't get it twisted. Let's go. Okay. So without further ado, sorry, these braids is heavy. They not real heavy, but I'll be like,
they look good.
I did them the night before the night before I was going to Hurricane Harbor. Because remember, the night before that I went out and my hair was curly. And I was like, I want to wear that. So when I started thinking about it, Hurricane Harbor is like, you know, when you're leaving, you already look dusty and ashy. I was like, do I want my hair to be all poofy and curly like that?
Stylist problems, y'all.
Yes, those are stylist problems. So yeah, thank you for telling me they look good. I really like them this time. I don't really put this really 27 613 blonde. I like a more orangey, but it actually looks good. I'm digging it today. So yes, y'all, we sorry. Business. I hadn't talked to her for a day. This is what happens. So yeah, you could go ahead and kick us off with the episode.
Okay, so where do we start, y'all? Where did we start with this? We're still in Portugal, right? We're still in Portugal, although this has kind of been a mess of a trip. At this point, throughout the entire episode, it was raining off and on. It was cold, but we gotta clap for Sheree. Sheree, maybe I don't even know if it was Sheree that initially coordinated the trip or if it was the new lady with the new face. It could have been one of the two.
I don't quite know the new lady yet. I don't quite know the new lady.
Oh, she planned it, or if it was when she had her old face and she was called Sheree. I don't know. However, we start off again where we left off previously with Drew walking off, crying, noticeably upset. And it was Sonia, Kenya, Sheree, once Marlo was like, go check on her or whatever, they all came to her aid, and she was basically crying because of the severity of the situation. She says that this has been something that has been plaguing her family. Just before they left for the trip, she was in court. This is a serious matter, and she would think that her friend, Sheree, would be more receptive to how she was feeling. Mm-hmm. And also, we must note that at this time, Kandi made a statement and scene. Drew didn't really like that. She didn't appreciate that. She
didn't hear about it. She didn't hear about it yet. She hadn't heard about it. She wasn't there for it. So she walked out. Sorry.
If you watch the episode, then you'll know you heard her say and seen, right? So right. Hold on to that. We're gonna get to it in the end. Yes. But Sheree really confuses me as a person because her loyalties just are to nobody, man. And we say it every single week, and it's because it's shown every single week that she just is not loyal to anybody. She don't care about nobody else's feelings. And I was really put off. I don't know if you caught this, but I definitely toned right into it when she said she didn't know. She was like, I didn't know any of this. And I'm like, Sheree, how didn't you know any of this situation when you're the one that brought it up and asked her about it from the get-go? How does that? I was really confused about it. We have Kenya over here at the same time talking about, girl, how many of us is it here? It's $1,000. Kenya basically just wants to throw money at it, divide it up and conquer, and just let this person just be over there. Let it be behind us. I can't really fault her for that, but Drew, it's more than just about the money for her. It's about how this person has been gunning for her family and everything. It's not just about the money. And I mean I do understand that, but at the same time I'm like, oh my God. So how did you feel about this?
It was dramatic, but me as a friend, that's my friend, my associate, my whatever, if that was my friend who I'm sitting here breaking bread, eating with, and she stormed off like that, and it didn't seem like you've seen her in arguments way worse than this, I in my head would be like, something else is going on with her. Like I would think that Kenya said it in her confessional, and then Sanya actually came back, and you remember she went out there to go console her, and when Sanya came back, she was like, "Yes, yeah, something going on. It's other things, it's not just that or whatever the case may be." And she didn't go into detail, but I think in that moment, Sanya was like, probably even on her walk back to the table, was like, girl, this could not be just over, what Sheree is saying. Even though Sheree is in the wrong, it's like you're not listening. It's like you're listening and then you're switching it off. And it's happening too much in their conversation. Like they're talking about one thing, and then as soon as we get, like, let's say Drew says to Sheree, I just needed you to hear me out in this moment. And Sheree's like, yeah, but you wasn't hearing me out when you decided to put my business out, or about me not getting nothing from She by Sheree. That's guess the argument, or the grudge she's still holding on to. I'm gonna need Sheree to stop doing that. 1, 2, stop deflecting. Like, just answer what's in front of you, and then we can move on. Because if you would have just took the time and answered what Drew was saying, you could have re-brought up what you wanted to bring up, as far as the misconception that you put out there that you didn't get nothing from her, from She by Sheree. You bring it back up. You bring it back around. But in that moment, Sheree's too old to be acting the way she acts, and it gets on my nerve to see her deflect every time. And I sometimes feel like she uses Drew, not uses, but she does Drew a certain kind of way that she wouldn't do to Kandi. What now? Her and Kandi starting to get into it, but they get into it more in the confessionals than in front of each other. So I just feel like she kind of jabs at Drew and thinks Drew is just gonna keep taking it, but we all can see she cried. It could have went the other way. She could have lashed out, because she was, as we all know, was going through something.
Yeah. I definitely picked up on that as well. I know. I know that they ended the scene. Like, they're on good terms. I'm not just picking up from watching. I know you watched Kandi speak on it as well. Mm-hmm. I know they are, at least they left on good terms, at least, so that tells me that they were able to get past all these little things. But as far as Sheree, I don't know where Sheree stands, where Sheree and Drew stand at this point. I don't know if it's going to continue to be a reoccurrence of this type of thing, but I just, if anything, yeah, I would have went after my friend, or if anything, if you're just like, because sometimes we are put in those situations where we just don't know what to do, we just kind of, or we don't know what to think. We're just kind of stuck, if anything. But I never think to say something that's going to discredit my friend or make them feel like they're not supported or anything like that. If anything, I might be silent for a second if I don't know how to act. But I'm never going to do something that I think it could be adverse, like how Sheree is. That's what I mean. She just anyway.
There's another scene that I want to bring up that in my little bitty notes that I did have, my little pinpoint. When Martell called.
He didn't call at the table.
Oh, it was another thing? Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Because
I'm not ready to talk about him
yet. That's all they really showed them doing was eating.
Yeah.
I think that's all we really got. Oh, my sister.
For real.
My other sister's in the building. Hey, Nene.
Yeah, that was really honestly it. It was a lot of dramatics, theatrics, but still, according to Drew, it was all done in seriousness. So that was really it for the scene to me. I was just kind of like,
sister, Nita, can you please go to the chat and to this live and share it or copy the link and send it to our sister chat? Because I didn't do it and I can't get to it right now. Love ya. Sorry, I'm glad you're here though. I'm glad you're here. You must have your notification bell on, girl. You better do what you gotta do, girl.
We love you. I love to see it. So then we go to day 2. Everybody's up and Adam. All the ladies are getting ready. Like I said in the beginning, it is cold and rainy at this time because Sheree didn't do her homework. So everybody's getting ready and everything. Kandi lets us know that she's taking her Imodium, so she's feeling a little bit better, right? Okay, we're getting better.
Bubble guts gone.
They all did they meet in the lobby? I want to say before getting on the bus. They all came down, and Sheree details the itinerary. She's like, "We're gonna go to the nicest market ever here. We're gonna get our fresh food. We're gonna go to a restaurant. They're gonna cook it for us. Then we're gonna finish with a pottery class." Like she breaks everything down. I guess at least she had that going. So they're all like, "Okay, cool." I don't remember what time she told them to be down. It was probably like I think 11.
Okay.
Everybody slowly trickles down. How did you like Drew's outfit or?
What the hell did you ever?
She had on like a denim outfit because Marlo let it be known that she.
You mean Billie Jean's not my lover? When she said Billie Jean, I was like, what is she talking about? I was thinking about Billie Jean. I'm like, he's sparkly on Billie Jean. And when they reference her, and then she had the jean boots with the jean and the jean and the jean. And see, it's kind of dangerous when you do that. You gotta do it right.
Like
it either has to be the same jean if it's on top and bottom, but you bought it as a 2-piece.
It has to be the same. Like it. Same.
It's kind of. It has to kind of match, but then
cheap one, and then like the more. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I know.
Or then if you're gonna do the jean boot, then break up the monotony. Don't put a jean on that jean boot. Like it
has to be done right. Like
you could have put a white jean on and then put the jean jacket on. It's just it was the Billie Jean, Jeannie Jean,
Canadian tuxedo, but not done well. Not done well. That's
it was crazy. That was crazy, girl. That was crazy. Don't even play with us. I like jeans. I like some jeans, but no.
But Marlo wasn't really killing them. If you ask me, either. I wish I had graphics, y'all. I wish I had.
And I was going to, and I almost was going to do, but I was like, and I almost said Barb might have did it. Don't worry.
I didn't. I was. Oh my god. Because I just honed right into Marlo's outfit, and I'm like, how are you going to shade somebody else when she had on these huge like. They're like Balenciaga boots, but these huge tire boots. And I'm all about a pretty edgy look. Like you can wear a motorcycle jacket with like a skater shirt. Like you can do that, but the boot, like it just was a lot going on. I'm like, I wouldn't have picked those boots. I would have whatever. And she had on 2 purses, so I'm like, who are you?
How much money you got?
Y'all know
one of the things.
early, so I'm like always dissecting how they're looking.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was a lot. And when you asked me about Drew, the first thing I thought about is when she's in the confessional with the black and white with the little mullet and stuff. So my brain went there first. If you saw me like kind of thinking like, I don't know, I kind of like that look on her, but it's a little edgy for her. For me, I'm just saying. What Nola say? I'm scared. What you say, sis? The house that need me built.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Hey, and if y'all haven't checked Nola Reads out, my sister came back today with a live with Miss Barb Meets World. They did a live on this very title here. So you can go look that up, okay? That is the title.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but that's what it is. So y'all go check Miss Nola Reads out. She's back on the scene, back in these YouTube streets, baby.
Yes, and you don't want to miss any of the things that she has coming up, child. Like,
she got a lot bottled up. She was ranting a little bit, just a little bit.
Talking about it, and sis got some good things coming up. We love to see it. She's back. She's back with vengeance. But yeah, everyone trickles down slowly. They are like, okay, time to get on a bus, whatever. They go on a bus. Kenya's the last person to come down, and she's like, you kind of get a glimpse of her in the room. She's ripping, running, and doing whatever.
They call her, and she didn't answer. They call her. She didn't answer. Yeah. So now that means now she's kind of rushing, but okay.
Rushing a little bit. You could tell kind of because she had on the hotel slippers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. She comes down. She's looking at her phone. She's looking at something. She's not really paying attention, trying to rush, I guess. Steps one step out into the outside. Doesn't see because there was a sign there, and it was really cute.
Yellow car.
Banana. I thought that was so cool.
I know it was good, like a split.
I want that for my house. I don't know why.
Girl, me and you think of the same. I can't stand you. I think just like that.
I like weird stuff like that. Anyway,
that's super cute.
Just random stuff. But she, I guess, didn't see that. Steps off and does a woo, and the way she fell, like, bypassed all that booty, and I feel like she fell on her tailbone. It did not.
No, not on the side of the tailbone. No. On the side of the tailbone, like not at the tailbone, because she didn't fall back. And she'd have
it was like
she would have fell back, it would have hit the tailbone for sure. But because she fell to the side, when she fell, she was on her side. She did hit the top of her butt though. She hit the top. Yeah. She didn't fall on that ass.
It wasn't the cushy part that
it wasn't the cushy part. She fell on because her feet almost really literally went up from underneath her. So when they come all the way up, you falling all the way down.
Fall, y'all, is what I'm saying. If I could, if this green screen wasn't here, trust me, I would give you guys a rendition. But not today. Anyway, and they were all like, oh my God. They pretty much saw the whole thing because like, oh, Kenya's finally coming out. Whoa. And like a production, security, somebody, 2 dudes come. And then Sheree was the first one to actually get up off the bus to kind of start going out. I will say that.
Which is weird because Kenya's the one that saw it.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, Kenya fell really. But I guess it's kind of, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, like when stuff happens, you're like, you see if the person gonna get up, or if it's like as bad sometimes as it is, you're like, are they gonna like, okay, no, they're not okay. Like it was kind of, I guess, not clear if she was gonna just be like, well, like, oh dang, because that's happened to me sometimes too, where you fall or you trip or do whatever, and it's just kind of like you could tell the person's okay, maybe, so you laugh, or maybe they didn't. I'm gonna give them the benefit.
I don't think they did. I didn't hear no laughter, and they would have probably showed it.
The and the tears, and it was a lot going on. She felt pretty bad enough to where she was like, "Yeah, I want to go to the ER. Don't move." Like she wasn't even able to really move. She was like, "Oh my God, no!" Like she wasn't even trying to move fast. And she asks Kandi, she's like, "Kandi, will you come with me?" And Kandi, she obviously obliges. But did you? Okay. I'm glad that I watched her speak on it too, because I cannot lie. I was kind of like the way I get it. You're on a trip, like you want to obviously have fun. I don't want to sit up in the ER. I wouldn't want my friend to sit up in the ER with me. Obviously, I don't want to ruin their trip either. But at the same time, I understood why Kenya asked her, because it's like, I'm in a foreign country. I don't know. Like, obviously, yes, you're going to ask somebody being Kandi, the only other person there that you really F with for real. But it was kind of the way Kandi responded or didn't respond or reacted when she asked her, kind of that made, I guess, was kind of off-putting to everybody, that made people on Twitter, I should say, when I say everybody.
Oh, because I didn't see, I'm not a Twitter person. I have a Twitter, but I don't use it. So what they were saying, it was going on.
They just kind of were put off by her, how she responded or reacted. She didn't seem like she was trying to be there to support her friend, I guess, based on the way she was like, you know, will you come with me? And she was kind of.
In Kandi's defense, she only had 2 good days to be there. So when you saying this, I was sitting here. I don't know if y'all was noticing, but I was in here thinking to myself, in front of y'all, who else is Kenya friends with, and who else is she cool enough that she could ask in the start. So I was like, maybe Manetta, because Manetta and her, they have a nice rapport. A nice report. I've never seen her. She damn sure wasn't gonna ask Courtney.
It would only be maybe Manetta.
That would be the only other, because her and Drew don't really get along, or
they're cool right now, I think, right? Yeah, they're decent enough right now.
So for me, I would have tried to probably pick somebody that was gonna be there longer. I probably wouldn't have. I would have asked Kandi, but then I would have asked her like this. Kandi, do you mind coming with me? Because I'm scared. I'm in a foreign country.
If you was on the show, you'd probably be friends with everybody. Like everyone would like you. So, like at the same time, I'm just thinking from the aspect of like, hey, Feisty.
Hey, Feisty.
She just always show. I just love this story. Always so supportive.
Always, Feisty. We love you, girl. Go ahead.
But it's just like, I get it. I see it from both sides, but it's like, well, I'm only here for 5 minutes.
5 hours, 5 good hours. I've been feeling good.
First of all, Kandi, you say what y'all want about her. I'm not trying to make this too drawn out, but say what y'all want about her, because at the same time, I probably wouldn't have flown all the way to Portugal. I don't know how many hours that flight was, but I probably wouldn't have even gone on regular circumstances. I feel like it was only because she was on the show. You have to tell me it was only because she was on the show, because you're gonna fly all the way there for only like two days and then rush back because you have a concert. Like, so I definitely get that. But on Kandi Speak On It, she also was speaking about how she still was like not feeling well. She needed to leave. Like, and it was more so she was kind of like, well, dang, what is this gonna mean? Like, nobody speaks English around there. She said that it was a lack of communication. They couldn't really communicate with anybody because no one spoke English right there. The first hospital they went to was a lot going on there. Like, there was a lot of factors.
It sounded like a county like a county hospital, like where when you walk in and people on the outside, that everything is on the outside, the benches are on the outside. Everybody's like lined up wall to wall. They walk around, because I've been to the county hospital. It ain't no joke.
When I've gone to ER, because it's only been military hospitals, so I don't even know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because my husband, my best friend husband is married to a military man, and yeah, the VA hospital is where y'all go. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been to those hospitals. I'm trying to think, what did I go for and why did I go? Because I feel like it wasn't for me, but however it was, went there and I was just it is crazy. So if they was in one of the poor parts of Portugal where it was like, more like the county, that's why I was wall to wall people, and it's like, no, take me to see the cyanide of Portugal. I need to see the cyanide of Portugal, please.
Which we can talk. I mean, or we can talk about it right here and right now. Well, actually, I'd rather talk about it, I think, when they get discharged. But anyway,
before you say that too, there's 2 things I want to say. One thing is the Portugal flight from Georgia to Portugal is 8 hours and 42 minutes. So it's almost a 9-hour flight. Hello, my sister. Hi, Mel. Thank you for joining us.
I love that picture of you guys.
Oh, that's when she let us She was like, put this red lipstick on. We used to wear red lipstick when we were too young to be wearing red lipstick because I was probably 17 and she was probably like 13, 14. And because we're 4 years apart, so like 18. Well, yeah, like 17, 13. And we both had nice full big lips, especially when we were younger. Now that we're grown, we've grown into our nice juicy lips. Mm-hmm. But she had that red lipstick, and that red lipstick is bomb. It just
I love y'all.
It don't rub off. So that's why we had that picture. I remember that picture. It was the best. But love me and my sis, we do the dang on thing. Yes, girl.
Me and my closest sister, we're 4 years apart too.
Oh, that's why I told you when we was in New Orleans. I was like, oh, okay, I know exactly what that feels like. You see, Princess. I'm like, but yeah, and then me and Nita are 3 years apart. My other sister that's in the chat as well. We're 3 years apart. So it's like those two sisters, they kind of fought for my attention. No, I'm just playing.
We love y'all. We love y'all.
Just playing.
But yeah, I understand why she asked her. I also understand why Kandi's like, girl, what, because that's what I'm doing. When someone asks me something or when something's going on, I'm looking at the bigger picture here. How the hell are we going? Excuse my language. Oh my God, y'all. How are we going to communicate with y'all? How are we going to? Because that's literally how I would feel. I'm like, how are we going to communicate with them? Where are we going? It's only me and you that's allowed in the back of this ambulance. Oh, legal. There's just a lot of aspects there. I'll be so like.
So you're saying you wouldn't have went? You're saying you would have said, I didn't interpret it?
If that was you and me, literally, we just got back from a trip. If that would have happened, granted, we were in New Orleans. They speak English there.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, right.
Obviously, yes, I will go with you. Whatever. I will go with whoever I'm with because you go somewhere with somebody, you stay with them,
stay together.
So I get that, but at the same time, I'm like, I would be like, oh, well, okay.
We only got 5 more hours.
My responsible cap. I gotta, be on it. I gotta be, making sure everything is good. And again, that language barrier.
Ooh, that's
let me get my translator app up. So I get it. But let me stop beating a dead horse, y'all. Anyway, so they go off to the ER. The rest of the ladies are on the bus still, and they're gonna go to the market. Yes,
the fresh market.
Yeah, there was a lot of fresh items. It did look like a cool thing, but would I want to necessarily do that on a girls trip? I was kind of
no. And
that's something me and him would do on a weekend, a Sunday morning or something. Let's go to the markets and get fresh fish and a spa day would have been better. I feel, especially because it was right.
Cleansing, retrieve. What are we? Where's all the Yamye kill at? Where's all that at?
I don't know. They need a what do they call what the I can't think, but it's on the tip of my tongue. They need a spiritual healer or something. I thought this was supposed to be about peace and all that, and making befriending one another again. And all. I thought it was about all of that. So let's go down to the market and get fish.
I guess maybe we're being hard. How long are they gonna be there, Barb? Because this is only day 2. Maybe.
I think are we still there next week? Yeah, we are. So because where does it?
Yeah, because we're gonna get the video of them taping without the cameras going up. So we're still there.
Yeah, it's got to be probably just it can't. I don't think it'll be all of next week though. Hopefully not. This is the season trip, for real? It just hit me. I would probably what is going on with Barb? Are you feeling okay? This is literally a season trip, and it's not.
I don't like it. Me no like. Me don't like it. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun living through you guys.
I'm just comparing it to previous seasons right now, and I'm like, wait, this is supposed to be the. Whoa, mind blown. But yeah, they stuff to cook. How could you let me forget?
I was
Courtney's comment about Kenya falling.
Hello.
before they drove off on the bus, y'all. Sorry, getting out of order here.
Let's go back because that's a key. That's a key. I don't think I wrote it down, but
Courtney and Drew are at the bar, or whatever, lobby bar, and they're like, you know, like, oh my God, you know, Kenya just fell, like, da 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 da. Courtney takes it upon herself, and I wrote it down. Drew says that was very unfortunate. Courtney says out of her mouth, the universe has a strange way of forcing things sometimes when it's necessary. It's a thing called karma that I believe in. This is someone who says that about someone that literally only said to them, hey, don't touch me.
I don't know you like that.
And at this point, we don't know if something's broken. We don't know because, you know, as you're getting older, your bones, like your body becomes, you know, weaker. Like she could have potentially have broken something. You don't know that. And you're going to try to see karma. Yes.
And she referenced, literally the second time on the trip that she's being taken away in the ambulance. Like she got some root on her or something.
Yeah.
Courtney, I don't like you. I'm sorry. I don't like you, Courtney. I don't like your animations when you talk. I don't like the whininess of you. I don't like that you trying to figure out where you fit in, trying to get in where you fit in and ain't got there yet. It's taking you too long. It's taking you too long as a housewife. What we're on 11? This is episode 11, right? Why is it taking you so long to get in where you fit in? You still don't. Huh?
I was cool on her until
we got back.
Like last episode, one turn Kandi made up or whatever, and everything was kind of cool. I mean, I felt like the whole Kenya touching thing was kind of like, okay, but I was mostly cool on her until she said this, and now I'm like, you can go too, because you're really that bent out of shape because she told you don't touch me. What was that like? You're the best thing in your life. You just had to touch Kenya more or something. Like, what's the big deal? Like, you're really that upset that you're now relishing in her falling and potentially hurting herself?
Well, you see in the Drew in the confessional, she didn't check her in that moment, which is weird.
Which brings me to my next point. Drew, you had so much things to say in the confessional about how, you know, that you didn't care for that comment. However, when you were face to face with her right then and there, wasn't nobody else around. You didn't say like, hey, that's not really cool. Like, hey, we can't look at, because I would never, I don't care how good friends we are. Like, I'm always going to speak my mind. I'm always going to tell my friends when they, you know, are in the right or in the wrong. And I expect them to do the same thing. Like, hey, that's not good looks. It's like, I get, you know, y'all had some issues, but you should never want to wish that level of harm on people. Like, that's not how karma, and people always want to attach the label of karma to things like that, and I disagree with that. But
yeah, karma don't usually work so fast. Sometimes it just be timing, because depending on how bad the karma that you're expecting them to have, for them to get that karma, I don't want to sound crazy, but for them to even get that karma you're wishing or thinking they're gonna have, they must have done something really bad. And like you said, she did nothing bad.
Like, that's not karma, because that would indicate that Kenya did something to you that was malicious. That
has not. It has not happened. It's not gonna happen either. Well, it might now in the reunion.
She's delusional. She needs to talk to someone. So yeah, back to where we left off, y'all. Yeah, they're at the market, they're buying their stuff. I don't really think too much happened in that scene, unless I'm mistaken. No. Except for when Marlo needed to let us know that the rabbit, the butt of the rabbit, Kenya needs to talk to said rabbit about, you know, what, you know, where the rabbit got its BBL, I guess, because we need to continue to comment on other people's bodies on this show for whatever reason.
If somebody uses their one enhance whatever, and ain't nobody saying in the charade, then don't bring up nobody's BBL. Like, stop. Like, if ain't nobody saying, Sheree, you know you're a beautiful lady. You don't need all those fillers in your face. And please do not go get your nose done. Then let's not talk about people behind their back about what their behinds look like. Let's
Hello? Message. Like, come on now.
Right.
So yeah, we get back on the bus. They're off now to get the food cooked for them, or
The restaurant's gonna
yeah, they're
make the
going to
dinner.
the restaurant. They're gonna make the food for them. Everything is cool. While they're on the bus, though, they need to make mention of the Bolo trip once again, because we just love to talk about that. We like to talk about the past and not the future on this show for some reason. And yeah, that was probably the only thing with that one.
Yeah,
And
wait, before you move on, is that where were they on an island? Where were they at? Do you know where
no,
they were at?
weren't they in like
South
Maryland?
Carolina? Yeah, I was like South Carolina, I think.
There and was there. So
I think it was South Carolina because I remember when they showed Bolo and it said S15.
That was when Kenya got the private jet, right? Yeah.
So I was just like, she made it sound like it was somewhere so spectacular and that he lived right there, right down the street. I was like, she'd be so amped up. I don't know, she's hyper. She's a little hyper little chihuahua. It's like, girl, relax.
Something like that. It's been hours at this point. Maniata FaceTimes Kenya, and she's like, oh my goodness, there's so many people there, whatever. They need to move, you guys.
I guess you're not that worldwide, huh?
Yes, this I will say this. I tweeted about it as well. Definitely turned me off, kind of more so Marlo, but Maniata kind of said a little something at the end there that I was like, Marlo, emergency rooms, healthcare, medical care has nothing to do with social status, ma'am. Because if it did, that would be called special treatment. And we're like I'm not really understanding. Like, no, there's no, oh yeah, you're a VIP person, like, so you should get seen before all these other
somebody with a gunshot. Sure.
Yeah, that's literally
come on now.
That's been here for 6 hours already, and you just got here. What does that have to do with being worldwide, honey? And furthermore, Marietta, like, you said something along the lines of VIP and they need to expedite things. Paraphrasing here, y'all. Again, what do all of those things have to do with they gotta wait their turn, period?
If anything, I think they would have been better off saying, like we said earlier, is that maybe even, I don't know if they phones work, but Google what is the high end or the hospital, not just any hospital. Even before you got into the ambulance, like who is there before y'all even call the ambulance to even tell me where I'm going or anything? Y'all not just put me in this ambulance, right? So y'all should have already had talked to whoever, if they had a translator or whoever, to find out where's the best place to go, not just the closest place to go. She was in pain, but she wasn't, it wasn't like, you know what I mean? It wasn't in detriment to her. So we can
have bodily harm. And I'm actually glad that you brought that up, because, and Kandi speak on it, she did clarify that they did wind up going, I don't remember how long, but they did wind up going to a private hospital where they were able to be seen faster. So that did actually wind up occurring. So if that's what Manietta meant, then okay, we're cool there. But if y'all again think that you should just go walking up into, that's why people have so much smoke for celebrities and as it is and stuff like that. When people think that they should be placed at a higher level just because you sold 100 million records, like.
I think Manietta is the one that, because remember, I think in Kandi's speak on it, she ended up saying somebody told her to get up and leave, or was that when she walked in? One way or the other, say it was like, no, when she walked in, they took Royal Kenya in there by her. So she went and ducking and dodging to find her, got with her, and I think she talked to Manietta, and I think Manietta is the one that told her, y'all get us out of there and go find another spot. And I think that's why. But it could have still been due to what she said to them girls. And they might have had a little powwow or like, girl, maybe they in the wrong hospital. Maybe they in the county hospital. Maybe how I think, being a adult.
Or you do, again, we're talking about healthcare at this point. You can't compare it to the United States healthcare system, because we do things differently than they do in Canada and Portugal and Vietnam. Like they do things completely different in those other places. So again, this is also a good reason why probably Kenya was like, girl, come with me, because I just need you to come with me. And it was good that Kandi was there. So
right. We gotta be all
screw you, Marlo. Screw you, Marlo. They went over to the restaurant, and I didn't write down more details about it, but I do remember Roy was brought up for whatever reason.
Let's go back before you go to Roy. Let's go back to the waiter coming and talking so slow. And the way he talked, because he speaks English as his second language, he made sure that he talked.
Gonna have to go here. Stop.
Said everything so slow, and that slow ass Marlo was like, "Oh, I like." She loved her other, and when I say other, I mean a non-black man. And I don't care. You can have whatever, because I am biracial, so I don't care. You can have whoever you want. I'm saying it always shows on her when other she's attracted to. You never see a black waiter come up and she's be like, "Ooh, he's fine. He did." It's always some other that she's always like, "Ooh." You see what I'm saying? So anywho, I just want to comment on that part, and the fact that here she go like, "Ooh, I like the way he talk." I said he talking slow so he can make sure he's saying the right words, so y'all don't think that y'all gonna get this green leprechaun Irish wine y'all wanted, weirdos. Anywho, get back to what you're saying. I just have to get that off my chest.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. You're on to something. You're definitely right.
But she did bring it back to the chef though, Marlo. She did bring it back to him, and I think now you can. You said that they bring up Roy.
Yeah.
They brought up the DM. Yeah, not per se Roy. They brought up the DM. Yeah. Different.
Trying to equate it to the whole Martell situation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie to y'all, at this point I was just kind of like,
again,
I don't care about Martell, obviously, or anything about his fake relationship with Sheree. And I'm not saying that I don't care about Roy, but like Roy hasn't done anything in my book right now that I need to dissect him. He shows up, he brought her food, he has to handle his business, so he was out. Like, that's fine in my book. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Roy. Right. Until he shows us otherwise. So I think that was kind of just like whatever, but it was more so how I think it was Monyetta bringing it up. And this left Sheree to feel as though, I don't understand why Monyetta is going so hard for Kandi and Kenya. Like, get out of their butts. Like, what do you mean get out of their butts? Because I wouldn't call it her being in their butts as much as I would call it she's maybe, I don't know, being a true like supportive friend in her eyes, something that it probably looks bizarre to you because you're not a true friend to anybody. So you probably were like, what are you doing, Monyetta? Like, you should only be about self. Like, no, that's what you do, Sheree. That's why you're confused at this point. Just stay over there. This is when Martell calls.
Lord have mercy.
Do I even have that ringer on my phone?
I do. I have that ringer on my phone.
Who goes out of their way? It's not the default settings. Goes out of their way to pick that. Anyway, whatever.
I used to have that on my ringer because I'm a stylist, and sometimes I don't hear my phone. It'll be in my purse, so I put an obnoxious loud ring on my phone.
My mom.
But it was so obnoxious that I had to go and take it off. And I think right after I took it off, I think my sister Mallory had it on her phone, and I would be like, every time her phone like, so then I think she took it off of hers as well. But I'm somewhere and I always hear that ring, and I just be like,
my mom has the most annoying. I guess it's one of the default ones, and it's like, wee. I'm never doing that again. So don't ask me to. Y'all,
she got an ambulance. She got an ambulance on her phone.
I can't whistle, so y'all. You're not about to catch me up. You're slipping no more. Anyway, it's very annoying. we don't like
so
it.
Martell calls and it's
Mhm.
that ring. She know with Martell's ring. She set it on that ringer, and it's just so. It's the giddy of it. Hey, like this.
So,
This is how she talking. Hi,
think about
girl.
me.
If you don't stop, we already got it. We got it. Y'all
He
dating. We
knows
did
you
it.
told him to call, first of all. He
It's
going
10
to get
a.m. where he's at.
it's 10. Yeah, it's in the morning there.
10 a.m.
He probably getting a haircut on layaway because you know he's broke. Anyway, so oh my god, that was why did I y'all? I've been out here too much.
Oh, layaway, sir.
I think I'll just be getting progressively worse. This is like the 5th video I made the past 24 hours, y'all. So bear with me. But yeah, like no one cares about y'all stuff. No one cares about this fake relationship. You told him to call, talking about some think about me at night. Like, ain't nobody want to think about again community pain. Like, it's not a flex. Yeah, like it's
not even a flex. Let me.
I was single. I'm pretty sure I could slide in his DMs right now and be on a date by next Friday. Like, I don't think that he is a hard person to get into the bed with, get into cahoots with. Like, I don't think so. So stop trying to sit here and shove it down our throats, acting like this is a flex. It is not a flex.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you why it ain't a flex. I'm gonna tell you the real reason why it's not a flex. I'm sorry, y'all. The sun is coming in through my little blinds over here, giving me this little. Every now and again to catch me in the eyeball. I'm like, hold on, bro. Hold on.
It's about that
time. But here's the thing. I wrote in my notes. Remember when Martell told freaking Melody to pray with him at the same time? Remember he called her and was like, Mel, I want us to pray together at the same time, right? So that's what that was given to me. It's like his thing is like, I want to be the last thing on your mind. I want you to do the last thing that, that's why. So when he said it to her, I was like, you probably say this line, this think about me and you last thing. It's like it's like a it's like
down in his notes too, because he's not very bright, which is like the only reason why I ever thought, could they possibly be doing this for real? Because they both not too bright. So
definitely not bright.
Him and Coleslaw. So he fumbles things when he gets with bright people. So anyway, whatever. Let me stop. Ooh,
so it just irritated me that he did that. And then here go everybody.
Princess's comment though. Why did they have to be on speaker?
I put that up. Yeah, I put that up. You must have didn't say what I did, but yeah.
I'm like 90% sure on most shows or reality show, like I've heard verbatim about one show or another that they have to put it on speaker when they get calls, like if they're filming, like that's a part of the thing, like we need to be all up in your business. So yeah.
1 second. I'm on my computer to cut off, but it's on low battery, so I gotta figure out which one of these things that I need to unplug but without messing stuff up. Give me 1 second. I take that.
It's okay.
What it's gonna be.
You know how we feel about the Martells of it all, so just bear with us. He just puts a bad taste in our mouth when we have to speak on him. We're really hoping that, and I'm saying we because I'm speaking for both of us, because I'm 99% sure my sis is going to agree with me. We really hope that this is the last time we're going to have to deal with Martell this season. The last time he pops up. Oh my God. No, I can't hear you. Y'all, oh my goodness. With that being said, oh my goodness. Because according to Kandi's speak on it, they start filming the reunion next week, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all, if Martell pops up at this reunion, I'm not going to be here to give y'all my commentary because I'm going to be through the roof at that point. That man better not come across my screen for that reunion, but I have a small Something tells me that's going to happen. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think that Martell's going to be at the reunion? Yes or no? Or did we get confirmation of that? I don't even know, because I haven't been checking the blogs as much as I usually do this week. Not when they talk about when they gonna like, yes, I don't want to talk about what y'all do in the bedroom or don't do in the bedroom. And furthermore, this also made me think this is the same person who was just at the gyno because they have, what was it, lemon size, softball size fibroids or whatever. So I'm really still confused about how Martell is on the phone talking about this is like the longest y'all have go without seeing each other, or y'all don't usually go this long without seeing each other. What? How again is y'all so getting so hot and heavy in the bedroom when she frequently, apparently, when she has stated, and we've heard it from medical professionals, that this woman has huge fibroids that, as Princess just so kindly said, are cock blockers. And again, this is all happening at the restaurant. Kenya, Kandi are still at the ER. The only other thing really that happened at the table was that this is when Sheree notifies Drew about the comment, that we said earlier, where Kandi said, and scene when Drew was being, seemingly dramatic in the beginning, right? I felt like that was Sheree being messy. Do y'all think that was Sheree being messy? Because we know how Sheree gets down. We know how Sheree likes to do. And yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
And I really feel as though she was trying to be messy, bringing that up, because why not just, if you're trying to really have a for real peaceful trip that you guys can, have reconciliation, why would you need to tell Drew something that was said that could possibly cause more discourse in the group? I was speaking about before how we brought up the whole how Sheree brought up the whole Drew or Kandi saying and seen when Drew was having, a bit of a low moment. Do you think Sheree did that to be malicious? Do you think that she did that? Like, what was the purpose of her doing that? Of telling Drew that information?
Definitely was like, we all see that she is a grudge holder. And so I think she is gonna, at different parts of their friendship or whatever they have, she's gonna just keep throwing little things at her. She's gonna throw little daggers. And it's gonna continue to happen until Drew checks her on it.
Low hanging.
Yes. So that's what I think is going on with Sheree doing that. I don't appreciate it though. I don't feel like she needs to do all of that. Like I told you earlier, I think that she should listen to what Drew is saying, tackle that problem or issue, and then go on to what you having an issue with her with, so that y'all can get on the same playing field, the same level. It's like right now you're not being really a good team player. And especially when this is your trip, you should be trying to be a gracious host. And I feel like you keep coming for her instead of, trying to befriend. And remember, you're the one we're trying to heal the relationships and we're on a healing thing and all this stuff. I don't know. I see that coming from her. Even Marlo had to tell you, go after Drew. This is your trip.
Yeah.
So like, are you engaging, or are you just doing this to just say it's your trip? Are you really trying to mend friendships and make the ladies get on one accord? You the one said it yourself. I want to get back to the fun and having fun and laughter and all this stuff. When you gonna try to get back to it? When are you gonna plan to do that? When are you gonna do it? Because at this point, it's not happening. You are doing everything but that. See if I can scoot my stuff back a little bit. But yeah, I don't.
No.
I think she's doing it on purpose.
I agree. Sheree doesn't just do. She's been on this show. Sheree's been on this show long enough to know that no one on this show just. After a while, you realize you're not just doing things just to do it. There's always a motive behind anything that anybody goes out of their way to say. Like there was a reason why you said that. And I'm not quite sure. I don't quite remember per se how it was brought up, but I do know that everything ended in Marlo apologizing to Drew for yelling in her face. I'm not sure how we got back onto that subject, so maybe you could inform me. But I do remember Marlo apologizing to Drew in the end, and I was like, yeah, okay.
I don't remember how we got to that part, though. I don't.
That was all at the table at the same time. Y'all get us together in the comments. But I do remember Marlo apologizing for yelling at Drew, and it's just like I take everything with a grain of salt as it pertains to Marlo. So that apology meant nothing because she's the type of person that apologizes, takes somewhat ownership, or I'm not even gonna say ownership, gives the justification that she was, how she was raised. She was a foster kid. She's had her mama was on drugs. She always has a justification for her poor behavior. So again, this apology by next week, she's gonna be yelling. She's gonna be yelling in Drew's face again, probably next week. So
and that you say that is funny because Kandi brought that up in her she brought that up in her live. I mean, her speak on it. She actually has said the same thing, that it was really not nervy, but it's really funny how Marlo tried to paint Drew out to be, we don't know what we gonna get with Drew. How she gonna act and who we gonna get. And it's like Kandi was like, that's how we all feel about you, Marlo. I was like, right, because we don't know who we're gonna get with Marlo. We don't know how it goes down.
Ever. And I do remember Kandi watching that as well. That's another reason why I was up late. I watched that last night too. And she cleared up a lot of stuff. It was actually really, really good to speak on it. 7.5 hours later, yes, y'all heard me correct. 7.5 hours later, Kenya is finally discharged. Everything is all good. She has not broken anything. Really good KFC. Y'all know how Kandi feels about her KFC, her food, her Kandi gonna find a way to get it in, much quite like myself. So I'm not mad at it at all. And yeah, nothing's broken above all else. So we're happy to see that. Fast forward, women goes to their final activity, which is a pottery class or whatever. And the only thing about this scene that really was like, oh, I can't stand you, was when Marlo made the comment that when Kenya and Kandi are absent, the whole group just gets along perfectly or better. Are we watching the same
perspective?
Are we watching the show that you were on, ma'am? Not to mention, Marlo, I feel like can be considered a little bit new here. Because isn't this her second season as a full-time housewife? Sure. So you're still, I think she came on the same time as Sonia. Because actually Drew, I think, was here for a season
before that.
Whatever. And Cynthia was still here then. So you're still a little new here, ma'am. How are you going to tell me that things run better and it's more smooth when they're not around. When all their scenes, I don't feel like there's nothing but yelling. There's not chaos and hurt feelings every time and people crying or having to defend themselves, or being called. There's always slut shaming when you're around. Let's get that straight. You love to look down on others and whatever as it pertains to their body, their sex lives, all that. So again, are we watching the same show? Because y'all, you really came out your face and said that. She really said that.
Yeah, she said that and meant it. That's the other part. She meant it. Like, wait, what? Girl, no.
I don't think anything else happened at the pottery class that was notable.
The fact that She by Sheree thought that she was about to make her She by Sheree star, and Drew in the confessional said, yeah, she was going to make that star and sell it for $150.
Probably. Is this when Monyetta and Sonya did that fake little like scene thing? I thought that was stupid, relevant. And then so
all of those little things to me. I think
anything that Sonya has attached to her at this point is just like irrelevant and annoying. And honestly, I should probably tell you this. You were saying this, a few episodes ago that Monyetta is kind of, she needs to step it up. Like, you're kind of like, what are you doing? Like, why are you? I'm kind of starting to feel like that too, because when she does pipe up, sometimes it's kind of like,
what are you doing?
Like, yeah, I'm starting to kind of feel the same way. Or I'm like, are you?
Where are you at with?
Like, and again, I'm not calling her uneducated or dumb, anything like that, but I don't know. I'm seeing a little things that are making.
I see a little bit of straddling the fence, just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't. So you might have to get up on the chopping block here soon if you don't clean up your act, Monyetta. Just saying.
I hope she does say something at the reunion, because that's where I'm gonna look for her to redeem herself. If she doesn't redeem herself at the reunion, and she sit there like the WB frog, like waiting, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem, because that's when I'm gonna be like, yeah, you can go and exit out. We don't want to see you come back. I need you to step it up and talk about however you need to, because if you and Kandi are good friends, that's what it is.
Honestly, at this point, everybody can go. If you ask me, let's her say my mouth is like all over the place today. I don't. Let me clarify that by saying everyone can go, because certain people, Kandi, Kenya, like those certain people, I still want to see on my screen. I'm still interested in what they got going on. I just want to transition them to something else. So then that leaves what? Drew, Sonya, and Marlo, and Sheree. Yeah, I'll let you guys play on the banks.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing Sanya a little pregnancy, since it was something that happened during the season, something that, I'm just saying me. I'm not saying
that's fine. I'm not judging you at all.
I just like I wouldn't mind seeing her go through her thing and see how raw, I
think that's the mom in you, because I'm over here like, you can go. I don't never want to see.
I just want to see if everybody's gonna be right about her husband.
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about.
In my mind, I'm still gonna get the same level of satisfaction if I see it come across my blogs that something. Again, we're not wishing ill on her at all. It's just
we don't want nothing.
I'm just not interested in seeing her in this ensemble cast anymore. Drew, I like Drew better in scripted TV, as we talked about earlier, and Sheree. Yeah, okay, and Sheree and Marlo. Yeah, so I could use they can do a whole revitalization, like NYC. That's what I mean. Like, I'm not saying I don't want to see all these people anymore. It's just
Yeah, they can go on and go to the ultimate girls trip out at this point. Is what you said.
At this
Like,
point,
go and take a couple of them, and a couple of them, and a couple of them, and put them all together, and go and get them over there, and then be gone about your business. I kind of agree. They need to probably revamp. It's been 15 years. You know, we've seen some come, some go. We see some of the OGs. We wasn't feeling them when they came back. So yes, it's that we already see the OGs really isn't pull nothing in or make the ratings go any better. So I think we are pretty much over the OGs as it pertains to the Housewives. All
yeah,
all older. So you know, if you want something fresh or you want a fresh audience, then you're gonna have to refresh your peoples. You just
I totally agree. And I just realized I said season 14 in the beginning because New York is on season 14.
Okay, because I was like, how's she
on the East Coast? I was like I wrote it in. Y'all, I'm gonna be off screen for the rest of the day. I need to go take a nap after this.
I know that's right. You've been working. I ain't mad at you. I'm so happy that you are putting out so much content. That's really great. So yeah, y'all don't know, go follow BarbMeetsWorld because she over here doing things and putting up content, and that content is good. I enjoy it very much. Especially you break some things down when you break it down good. So yeah, y'all gotta go.
Overthinker, y'all. So I just gotta overanalyze everything. Sorry, and I like to ramble. But yeah, thank you. Fast forward, last scene, we end everything at the hotel. Yeah, Sheree decides to have, a little, everybody's gonna put on their jammies and just chill out. She orders like a black truffle pizza or something like that, which I've never had. I think I need to just try it once. And we're like, okay, cool, because it's super rainy out. They're not trying to go, out or anything like that because, again, piss poor planning. And Kenya does not make an appearance, but Kandi shows up, and Sheree was not really here for her for Kandi's ensemble at this point because she didn't really care for her set it off braids, I guess, and her sweatsuit, but Kandi was like, I showed up comfortable. I needed to fly out the next day. Again, I didn't feel well throughout the entire trip, pretty much. I was in PR with her all day. Like, spare me. And they all congregate. Was that Sheree's room then, I guess?
Yeah, she ordered food service at her room, yes.
Food, flowers, good vibes. Everything's cool. When everybody gets there in the beginning, Kandi lets us know that she has a concert tomorrow and she's about to head out. But before you head out, Kandi,
I'm sorry, I didn't know you had put Marlo as trash. I definitely want to put that up. Sorry,
I read it and I said it in my.
Oh, you know what? I think that's when I was technical difference. My bad. Thanks, sister. We agree. Go ahead.
No, we know.
We agree.
And before she heads out, Drew takes the opportunity to basically call Kandi on the unseen comment. And Drew's thing is like, yeah, well, didn't really appreciate that because, like, did you ever think that I really could be going through something? And Kandi told him, like, girl, I'm just not the sentimental friend, the super whatever friend. I thought, it was funny or whatever. And I poked fun at it or whatever. I think, in the end, she doesn't wind up apologizing because, Kandi has some form of humanity that other people on this cast are lacking, or compassion, I should say, about herself. So I do think it was good. Drew, I will give Drew that much. She did put it out there, ask Kandi flat out. She didn't go around to everybody in the group and say or whatever, or just have to pull Kandi to the side and tell her whatever. She just let it all be out there, which I feel like at this moment, Drew, this should have been Drew's trip. She's the one who's been kind of tackling her demons and stuff like that. Sheree, Drew's been the one trying to actually keep the peace, reconcile, or whatever, and get things out there, right?
You don't want to look like she on the healing train. On the healing train.
At this point, because Sheree's over there on mute the whole time, blending into the background, if you ask me.
Just blending in the background.
Yeah, I guess, they pretty much squash it, I guess you could say. And yeah, Kandi pretty much reiterated the same thing on her speak on it. And at the same time, though, I will say just a little bit. I'm never saying that you should change yourself for anybody else, but I do understand that sometimes your friends are going to need you in different ways, and that might not always be the way that you naturally, are or whatever. But sometimes people in your life like require things of you that might make you be a little bit out of your comfort zone. I like to think sometimes, like, and I'm not saying that to say like they should be forcing you to be uncomfortable, if that makes sense either, but I'm just saying like you might really like hugs, and that might just be the only way to make you feel better. And something crazy just happened. You're just like, I just need a hug. And I could be like a person that's like, I don't like hugs at all, but I care about you enough. Like, fine, I'll give you a hug. If it's not gonna kill me. So at the same time, I understand, Kandi, that you're not like a super, sentimental person that's gonna boohoo cry and whatever. I do understand you're a go-getter. You're always looking to, worry about diffusing the situation by any means necessary and getting right to it and whatever, and not trying to cry later. But at the same time, I just want to say that sometimes you gotta assist people where they need assistance right in that moment. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that Kandi's the type of person that doesn't care about people. Obviously, I'm not Marlo. That's not what I'm saying. But I just say that sometimes her reactions don't match her actions, if that makes sense. Like, her actions are always, I think, true or whatever. She always shows up for people, obviously, on this trip or whatever, showing up at Sonya's thing when she just got off of tour or whatever. Like, I do understand that. When I say, like, she does always have, the actions are always representative of her care and consideration for others, but sometimes her reactions right then and there are like, kind of like, just need you to soften up just a little bit. And I feel like, to a degree, that's a Taurus thing, because my mom is the same way.
Remember, they said she got the resting bitch face.
My mom is the same. Yes, my mom has that. My mom is not an affectionate person or stuff like that. I'm way more affectionate than my mom. And a lot of times when I was growing up, I would have a little bit more hugs and stuff and warmth or whatever. And that's just not how my mom was. So get it. A little transparency for y'all.
That part. I agree. Drew saying to Kandi, I heard what said what. Just the fact that they even went back and told Drew that, was knowing that she was already upset and what. So what are y'all getting out of it? Why are y'all going back like schoolgirls? Like, let me tell you what your good friend Kandi said. Let me go back and tell you. Like, grow up.
And y'all know that she's upset about Drew. She's upset about Ralph more so than anything. So it's like, she really got stuff probably in her mind.
And we did right. We touched on that last time. There are so many things that you guys know that she got going on that she has shared. But I'm glad you said that, because I was just about to almost make a fool out of myself, because I was about to say, basically, when it comes to,
I said a lot, but yeah.
No. When it comes to Drew, and she was, trying to tell Kandi that I was really going through something. I don't understand why you would say that. And Kandi explained to her, like, look, I've seen you in arguments with other people, and it's been real dramatic. This right here didn't seem like it should have been as dramatic. Hence, that's when you think, if she's doing all this, then something else is going on. That's all I wanted.
Kandi's done that several times where she's kind of, which we all make mistakes again. So I'm not trying to, this is not a bring Kandi down, or I'm not shading Kandi at all. I'm just saying that we all sometimes misjudge the situation and kind of just think like, oh, like she probably thought, like you said, I've seen you way more upset. I didn't think that.
It wasn't that serious. Plus,
but she's done that kind of a couple times, I feel like, where she's kind of misjudged the situation and didn't really, give the proper, again, reaction, assistance, whatever that the person kind of needed from her,
Exactly. And then the Kandi also, say it again.
Now talking about Marlo though, y'all. Let's get that straight. I'm meaning other in previous seasons. I've seen her kind of. It's like, Kandi, we need you to soften up just a little bit in this moment.
I just feel like in this moment, Drew is still not being as transparent as she needs to be with the girls. And that's why she's not getting the support that she needs. Because let's go over Sanya. When in the same scene, they bring up Sanya, how did Mommy Nation go over? And they're like, she's like, oh, it went over great. But, me and my sister are not going through. I know you don't want to hear about the girl, but
no, I want to hear you. What you have to say.
I'm gonna show you why where the difference is. Sorry, y'all might hear. But Sanya's like, she starts literally crying.
Yes.
Of the situation about how the dynamic of her family is about to change. How, I love my mom and my sister, but we gotta get, past where we're not roommates no more and all this good stuff. And she genuinely cries and she tells the girls exactly what's going on and exactly how she's feeling. And everybody is not transparent, but Drew is. So you're still sitting here fronting for everybody about your relationship. The only glimpse we got in this trip was when you said, oh, the producer hooked him up with woo-wah, but I'm not really happy that he's in Vegas. So unless editing is editing a lot where we're not getting the full story of what's going on with Drew, I feel like you're not being as transparent as you need to be, and that's why you're not getting the hugs and the Drew, are you okay? Or you're not getting the what you need out of it. And the people that I think you need it from, that's not gonna give it to you, don't look for it there. Not saying Kandi's not gonna give it to you, because Kandi is a genuine friend. I was very heartfelt, I think, when she said, Drew, even though she's very animated with her face, she's like, Drew, I'm sorry. It was not like, Drew, okay, I apologize. Right? You felt that?
No, I think she meant it.
Definitely meant it.
But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I just feel like Drew needs to, and maybe we'll find more out, as it goes, and as things progress with Drew and the allegations that are being met on her job, not even just with the lawsuit, but with what's pretty girl name? Oh, the one that was with Mimi. I can't think of her name. Ty. Cutie Pie Ty. Cutie Pie Ty.
Next week. No, I 100% agree. There's very, very few things in my 29 years of life that I have witnessed that do better by not being transparent or being honest 100% or whatever. Usually it sounds corny, but being honesty is the best policy. It is. So I do think that Drew could have benefited more potentially by being honest, but at this point, I don't think she was even 100% honest with herself. And I say that because speak on it. She was like, the story wasn't that the assistant. I thought that was the one that she said that she stopped talking to, and how did she coordinate that if that's the case or whatever? Like, if that was the case, then that's what she was upset about all the whole time, or what? It was she not even being 100% with herself right now. So yeah, she's just gonna have to keep going through this dog and pony show because she can't be honest with herself. And
that's what my sister just said.
Even if she does come back and we watch this next season, I would be interested to see like her new approach. I want to see how Drew is, as a divorced woman. I want to see
a single woman.
Yeah, a divorced single woman. I want to see how she's going to be there. And again, this is even better. Maybe this is where you were going with it. This brings us to the next point of we end this episode with Drew not being honest about a situation that we've spoken on for the umpteenth time at this point, because we can't seem to let the Bolo situation go. Although half the people that were there at that trip ain't even on the show no more. That happened.
The lies is what we gonna get.
that happened in somewhere in Maryland, Virginia, somewhere. I don't even know where they were. And we really don't care. But for some reason, we got to keep bringing it up. And now we're bringing it up because once cameras wrapped, I think around 11 or something. And somebody
almost midnight. It was like 11:45.
Had put on the iPhone, Kandi and Drew, and everybody going back and forth over Drew denying having kissed LaToya.
It was Drew and Marlo, not Drew. I'm sorry. It was Marlo had a camera on and Manetta had a camera. Those are the two that.
This is where we got that footage from. And at this point, Kandi said like she didn't even see camera. Like she thought there was 100% no cameras was on at all at this point. And she was like, no, like Candy's whole thing is she not about to be made to look like a liar for nobody. Although at the same time, I'm like, I get not want to be a liar, but I also think that sometimes in this show, you kind of, I'm not saying you need to tuck your tail between your legs and walk away, but I also was like, I would have just dropped it, which Kandi wound up doing. But I'm just saying, given the nature of certain issues certain people have had in the past or dealt with or whatever, and you could see how people like to lie on having been a part of certain sexual acts and certain stuff, you know. Sometimes people like to get on the show and lie about what they haven't done, or this person does or hasn't done. And I would just, I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say at this point. I would sometimes probably try to back away from that if I see that the other person's not budging or anything like that. Like I would have just been like, you know what, I don't even care at this point because I know I'm not a liar. And but at the same time, I'm not about to spend too much time on this because but yeah, that's where we ended. And it's like, again, Drew, are you being honest with yourself?
Before we end it there is another scene. There's a scene in that scene. When Sanya brings up, no, it's so much deflecting. I don't even know how it goes. But when it was brought up about She by Sheree, well, how did she bring that up? And she's like, I don't see none of y'all on my books for purchasing.
Oh, yes, that was.
And it was like,
I don't remember. Maybe it's at the Pottery. I don't know.
I thought it was at the Pajama Jam. I think that was at the Pajama Jam still.
We start dancing after, and Candy's like, "Oh, you dancing for Heath." That's the only time. Again, when Manietta's usually when we do see her.
That is dancing. Yeah. Right. I mean, she's a dancer. That given. That's
she just seems like the fun like dancer friend that's always going to be ready to have a fun time.
The reason why I even brought up that is because I really like the fact that Sanya ended up kind of standing up to Sheree and letting her know, because she was like, they go Sheree in the confessional. Now they need a lesson on how to work a website. I'm like, bro, your website was down. You sitting right here. I'm gonna ask you if I'm trying to order from you. You mean I'm trying to order from you in this moment, and you mad at me for being like, this is what I get on your thing, and when you do this is what I get. Can you show me what I'm supposed to do from here? You mad? Girl, give me my phone. I ain't ordering from you, because you can't have it both ways, goofy girl. Like, figure it out. You want us to purchase from you. You want us to be good. You want everything to go right. But at the same time, here you go, being all mad. I was like, you get on my
And it's
nerves.
like, she only shows attention. Like, so you were able to look through all the, because, okay, I'm sure all people have ordered. You look through all these orders to pinpoint, to see, to
she
not.
Went for them. She went looking for them.
Like, God, so corny, but you can't sit here and freaking figure out how to make the site not crash and put your stuff up in time and stuff like that. But you have enough time and the expertise to go looking through to see if their names were there.
And then I love what Marlo said. I didn't see you in my books in the archives. And then I think somebody else had said something to her too. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, y'all should all be like, put her on blast. Stop begging. You begging too much now. That sounds like you begging. Like, seriously, the fact you even said that was just too much. But I did enjoy the fact that saying, told her about herself and in the confessional too. Like, girl, tell you
Princess.
about stuff in here and on the confessional because you're doing too much. Because we had a whole group chat about it. We were all rooting for you on here, honey.
And it got to the point that Kandi said, she was like, at that point, like Kandi called up Shamia too. She said that on her speak on it. And it got to the point that you're twisting stuff up so much that you're making people that was there second guess if it did really happen. Because now they confuse, like, confusing everybody. Come on now. That's what I was like. Good. We know at least somebody's website works.
Good job, Princess. Thank you for your
princess, because clearly her website works and you're able to get your stuff. So, but yeah, so we'll see more about if Drew did kiss a woman or she didn't kiss a woman. And
she kissed a girl and she liked it.
Yeah, move on. Like,
lie about it.
She acts like that's like most people don't care about. Like, I guess maybe because her mom's a pastor. Maybe no one even cares.
I don't care. Here's the woman.
Like,
we are talking about Kandi, the one that don't drink, smoke, nothing. She don't even probably drink caffeine. You too. I'm saying that to say, if Kandi says she saw you, you mad because she's the one that's not drunk. Everybody else drunk. Everybody else doing everything. Bolo there. Everybody had a great time.
I'm Kandi.
You don't tell me my sober mind saw what I saw against your drunken mind that's trying to erase the past. Drew, give up. And it's okay. It's okay. And if your mom don't like it and her being a pastor, she's being judgmental and God don't like that. So
you got 3 kids. Like, oh well. I highly
Let's get over it.
Again, we've only seen her mom. Like, we haven't seen her mom in that type of space where she could possibly disappoint us. But I like to think the glimpses of her mom that we have seen, she seems, cool enough to where I don't even think she would care. Like, who cares? You're grown. It's
or unless her husband, which it sounds like, to be completely honest, it might be that her husband really looks at it like cheating and like, or maybe he don't look at it as cheating and you lying about it made him look at it like that because, I don't know. I don't even know. No, I do. I think my husband probably would still be mad if I was lying about it. I'm not, and he's in there and it's like, oh, I hope you don't hear me like, oh, you didn't get the woman because I haven't. Not while being with you, at least. But I'm saying it to say, some men don't look at it like that. Some men don't look at it like that. They'd be like, I don't care, just a girl. Like, but then some men be like, you kiss a girl, you are cheating, and don't do that. And I feel like,
it's different for everybody's dynamics. So I do understand that, but I more so like from the not Ralph and having an issue standpoint as much as I'm just like, it still ain't nothing to lie about. Like, especially when it's already been proven in the past. Like, and Drew said that I think, or LaToya, somebody said that it was Kandi that told LaToya to say that. Drew said, yes. I'm just like, not to mention now you got to sell 12 lies on top of that lie. Like, when it's just so much easier to tell the truth.
I think she came up with that. She came up with that because of the response that Kandi gave when LaToya said, oh yeah, Drew, did you tell your husband you cheated on him with me? And then Kandi like busted out with a Kandi do. But that didn't make it guilty. Like, oh, I think that Kandi probably did tell her to tell her. It just was like, LaToya is a damn mess and she don't care who's looking or whatever. That's how I took it. The fact that Drew really is trying to make Kandi out to be a liar is not going to come out. It's not, to me, it's not going to go over well.
I think she is going to eventually back down because, again, like I said, picking up the bits and pieces from Kandi speak on it and stuff like that, I do think that they are currently, cool. So, because I think she literally said, she's like, yeah, Drew's my girl, and in this most recent one. So clearly there's some type of resolution to this issue, and that might, honestly, I'm not getting my hopes up. It might just be that both people just, walk away from it and leave it as it stands. And maybe we won't get an actual concrete answer. But as it stands, I don't think there's gonna be like a major breaking point or anything like that. So I'm honestly not even getting my hopes up for next week's episode, y'all. I'm gonna just say that because I'm pretty sure that it's not gonna be anything. They're probably just, production loves to drum up and make scenes look like it's gonna be more than it is. So it's whatever.
Right. So that basically summed up the episode, correct?
Yeah. I'm just point. That was it, y'all. That was all she wrote until.
So we shall see what Sunday will bring. We shall see. But we do thank y'all for rocking with us today. I enjoyed myself. I always do with you, Barb. We want to thank everybody that came in on our live. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Sure, playback game. You guys leave us a comment. Get us in the algorithms as well. That does help. A like help as well on both our channels. Subscribe to me and Barb if you have not, because we're putting out content and having some good things show. So yeah, y'all want to be in the know. Make sure your notification bell is on all, so you can come in and visit us, kick it with us for a little bit, do what we do. Anything you want to say, Barb?
No, you pretty much sums it up. Just make sure you guys are, check in for any updates. Follow us on all of our social medias, because when we're not on here, we are on there, especially, and for me, I mean, I'm on TikTok a lot too, but I make sure to post things to my story every day, daily polls, all that stuff, keeping the conversation going from other things other than, reality shows and stuff like that. Hey,
Saki. I just wait for Barb to finish. Thank you for coming in, Saki. I always appreciate you coming in and supporting. If you guys are not following Saki's Speakeasy, y'all need to go follow her. She has great content on her channel. And she was live. So I know she just put out some content. So y'all go check her out. Go subscribe to her as well. Like I said, she gives out great content. And we ladies, we stick together and we promote each other and we support one another. I do have my sign here. I have a sign that says great women support great women who support great women, and that's where it's at for me. I used to have it on my wall. When I hook my little stuff back up, it will say that, because I get so sick and tired of people trying to tell us that women don't get together and they don't get along and yada yada yada. It's not a true statement. Just say that you don't get along with women. That's
what it is a true statement for some, but it's not for me, because I like to always consider myself a girl's girl. And honestly, at this point in my life, if you're not a girl's girl, I don't want you around me. And I'm not saying you have to be, freaking whatever. Like, I'm not going to say, you need to be following behind anybody's every move and, just supporting people that, you just are not like that with or anything like that. But I say that to say, like, you don't have to spread negativity, and it's always a better time if we just uplift one another. Like, there's nothing to all, especially on platforms like this. There's enough space for us all to, engage and, have our audiences and stuff like that. It's never a competition. So it's always a space on, my channel, and as well as my sis, like, always safe.
Yes. So that's a great way to end this show, you guys. Like we said, we just support all men. You guys are included. We support y'all too. We're just saying the women always get a bad rap that we don't support each other. And it's just not a true statement. And I'm just here to tell y'all, I'm a living, breathing truth that it is not a true statement, y'all. Don't do it. Don't believe that. We can support each other and get along. All that good stuff. So yeah, y'all, we will be back at it next Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. Yesterday was my granddaughter's birthday, so we weren't on yesterday, but we will be back on Tuesday of next week. Oh, shout out to my nephew godson. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Malik. I love you so much. He's in Vegas. That's where he lives. So I'll be calling you in a minute. So it's a birthday extravaganza July for us now. It's all kind of things going on. So happy birthday, Malik. I love you. And yeah, y'all, we'll be back on Tuesday. We see y'all. And on Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday. I'm sorry, August. The first week of August, we will be back on for Messy Court, Messy Night on Nola Reed's channel. So y'all gotta come through for that, y'all. Gotta come through for that. All right. So without further ado, we gonna say good night. We love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. And until the next time we see y'all, y'all be good. Right? Be good, be good, be good. Love y'all.